Well, hey there, everybody. It's Tiffany, and I wanted to share with you a flip through of my very first October daily. So here is the spine. I used some stickers to label it October 2021, and then I wrapped some hand-dyed seam binding around it. If you're interested in that product, I ordered it from a place called Scrap Cabin Shop on Etsy, and I was like really pleased with the color selection and that kind of thing. I'm not getting a kickback or anything like that, but I used it throughout my album, and I really liked the textural element that it allowed. So, if you're in the market, it is a very chunky album. And I have to be honest, I was a little worried about getting it finished. I did not work on it daily, even though, like I should have. There's no reason I couldn't have. And I had about, 10 unfinished days when I sat down this weekend to work on it. And it's like I had the pictures printed and I had the layouts all kind of created, but I was missing either the journaling or the embellishment or both on about 10 pages. All right, so let's take a look. Here at the front, I have a couple of mini books that I made, because I did go on a trip the first part of the month, and I had so many pictures that I wanted to be able to include, and I didn't know how else to do that except by creating a mini book. And these are just 3x4 cards that I backed with a photo, and then I punched a hole and tied them together with the seam binding. Now, they're not super easy to turn the pages. You can kind of see that. But I also don't think that anybody's going to be looking at it very frequently. I could always add like a silver ring there, but for now, it's fine. And it's living here in the front of my album in a little bag, which I think is super cute. And so, that was the landscape version. Well, here is the vertical version. And here's the thing. This does not have any embellishment in it. These are just cut apart cards, journaling cards, or paper that I have backed with photos. And I didn't really feel like they needed any extra embellishment. But I do love the idea of putting them here in the front of the book so that, if you want to check it out, you can. All right. So here's my title page. I had some fun making it. I decided at the beginning of this project that I was just going to use the products that I had for fall and Halloween with abandon. And so I think you'll see some evidence of that. I used the 31 set from Frank Garcia. I used the Close to My Heart set Boo Crew. And then I had some pieces from some other lines that I used as well. I loved being able to incorporate the pink, and I loved being able to use a pink album because, that's unexpected. That's kind of my jam. All right, October 1st is the story of my friend Lori and I going to a sunflower field about an hour from my house. And I did the whole flip out sort of thing. It's kind of hard to see that. Here, let me move that over. So you can see I was able to fit one large picture, 2 4x6s, and then 6 smaller photos on this one spread, as well as all of this journaling, which makes me really happy. Day 2 was about the Women's March that occurred. And I have some photos and memes that I grabbed along with some journaling. And then on the 3rd, I started my trip to Red River Gorge. And so this is the place that I camped. Now I do have another little booklet here, and this one has a little bit of embellishment in it, but these are all pictures of the place that I rented. And then I have a journaling card. So, you know, I liked the idea of putting that right here with the page, you know, that documented that trip, but I couldn't fit those other booklets in this same way because they were just too thick and it made it too chunky. I also, and I don't know if you all are familiar with these, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I attached this clear adhesive backed strip for the hole punch, and I bought those at Citrus Twist. They are fabulous if you like doing mini books, you like doing kind of interactive elements in different sizes. I highly recommend. And here we've got some Felicity Jane. So yeah, I just sort of included all kinds of things. So we have a couple of selfies, you know me. And then day 4, I had some great photos that I wanted to showcase. So I just decided I would have more than one page for day 4, which is, you know, kind of breaking the rules, I guess, but that's okay. Day 4 continued. Then we go to some smaller pages. And then I have, you know, quite a bit of journaling here, along with the really scary tunnel I had to drive through to get to my rental. October 5th was my 50th birthday. And so I did a selfie and wrote some journaling about what 50 was like or what it looked like to me. Now, even though I wasn't part of this trip, I decided to include some of the events from Kelsey and her family for the month because they are part of my life, and I want to include, you know, the big things, the fun things that they do in some of my story as well. So day 6 is all about their trip to nearby Dinosaur World. And these are all photos that she shared with me. We have a shared family album, and then sometimes she just texts me things randomly. Day 7 is about my fall decor. And you'll notice occasionally I am using page protectors. So here I have a divided page protector. And then this side is outside the page protector. So that was something that I don't do a lot, but I really liked the freedom of getting to decide for each day and each page whether I wanted to be in a page protector or not. Day 8, Kelsey and the boys and I went to a pumpkin patch. And boy, was it an adventure. She is super mom, let me tell you. I took this 3x4 insert because I had a few extra photos I wanted to include. And then this time I journaled on these shipping tags. Also have a little ephemera here. That's my wristband showing that I paid to get in. And then we have little Dean driving a tractor. This is another one of those pages. Let me pull this out to show you. That has that, that clear hole punch section from Citrus Twist. And I liked that because I had, let's be real, I had made the page and then I was like, oh no, I have to punch the holes. And I was afraid that the holes were going to be too close to his little head here. And using that adhesive strip of holes just, you know, made life easy. Day 9 is about an art fest that I went to, and it is also a pocket. Now, if I had it to do over again, I would not do 2 pockets back to back. I feel like that was a little bit heavy. So here's a picture you can see, but then these pull out. Another photo on a card. Notice I'm putting these on 4x6 cards, and then I have the journaling. The photos from that day were not particularly great, but I still wanted to document it. And then I also like the look of these staggered items here. Now, technically, I could have put something on there that said, you know, like pull, but I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out you can pull those out if you want. And then here is a flat lay photo that I did of the pieces that I bought that day. Day 10 is made out of a Halloween treat bag. And so you just have the spooky picture on the front. And then on the back, you have not a very good picture of me and a great picture of Vanjie. She and I, we had a Zoom or a Skype meeting that day and scrapbooked together. And so I journaled on the shipping tag. Notice that the shipping tags are kind of a repeated element throughout the album, and so is the hand-dyed seam binding. For day, let's see, is it day 11? Yeah, for day 11, I decided to document the scarecrow walk. So here's kind of the opening page. You're like, what in the world is this? And then on the back here, it describes what this event was about. And then I have a couple of pages more of photos. So I have, you know, 4x6s, both sides. And then I have the 3x4 divided page protectors. And I know that some people are like really firm in their rule about, you know, one spread, one day, you know, 1 2-page spread is all you get for each day. But this was my book and I decided I would do it my way. So there you go. Day 12 is about getting my hair done. And so I took a picture at the salon while I was under the dryer, which was hilarious. Here is the sweet gal who did my hair for me, and then a couple of shots that I took once I got home. And then the story of going to get my hair done. Basically, Kelsey has done my hair for years and years since she's been a hairdresser, but she has her hands full with 2 boys under 2. So we decided that if I didn't want to look like a throwback from the 1800s, maybe I needed to go have something done professionally. Day 13, I met Tracy and her friend Kendra and her little girl Addison, and we went to lunch, and then we went to Jackson's Orchard. And so I cut down a shipping tag and did my journaling on there. And then you can see I also managed to include 4 photos, which I thought was pretty cool based on the fact that I only allotted a small page and one other full-size page to that. All right, day 14 was an online event that I attended, and I cut down one of the 2x2 split page protectors. I didn't need all of the squares, so I just decided to use 2/3 of it. And I have an article here that I copy and pasted from their local newspaper about the haunted stories of Rabbit Hash, the booming metropolis in northern Kentucky. And then these are photos that I grabbed from the internet, but also that I grabbed from the online tour and like discussion that the library there offered. I thought that was a really fun thing to do, with COVID and sometimes with bad weather, or, if you live in the middle of nowhere, sometimes it's difficult to find really cool things to do to document your month and to kind of, like I wanted to keep with the creepy sort of theme. And so this was free. It was simple and it was fun to document. It's something that I didn't know about my very own state. So there you go. Day 15 is another story about Kelsey's boys. Roscoe and Dean were both sick. Poor little Dean had a double ear infection, and Kelsey sent me that picture of him feeling all puny at their house. And then little Roscoe here, he actually had pneumonia. And so they were down for a few days and feeling pretty rotten. I had one picture that I couldn't reduce it enough for them both to fit into the one 2x2 square. So I did take that over 2 squares. And I know that's probably like breaking some design rule, but I figured it was okay since it didn't cut through anybody's head. All right. I'm like, where's my number? Did I not put a number on this page? Silly me. I'll have to go back and do that. So this is day 16. Dean is feeling much better by this point. And I took him to a little fall pumpkin fest sort of thing downtown. So again, I have, almost a full-size photo. And then I have the 4 divided page protector. I liked being able to do a flip up there. I don't know if my number fell off or if I forgot to put it on there, but I need to fix that. Note to self. All right, day 17 was about a book that I was listening to during that month from Audible. It was a scary story, and so here I have my little journaling card. And I liked this layout because I took the 4 up and I just put pattern paper or journaling cards in each one. And then I printed my photo and I popped it up a little bit. It's on foam tape. And that way I was able to put the journaling behind it. So really liked that. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been using some half circle and full circle elements as the grounding for the numbers for each day. So that's something I'd point out. Day 18 is a selfie that I snapped at the gym. And again, I have some journaling here. Just one photo. And I just included a few little embellishments. Day 19 is about some podcast episodes I've been listening to, just a little bit of journaling there, not a lot. And they were spooky stories. So if you've been following me, probably on the Scrap Gals Instagram, I posted a calendar at the beginning of the month with all of my plans and all of the different things I could do on the different days. And I got a lot of them accomplished, but there were some days that it just didn't work out. The weather was crappy. I didn't feel great. The kids didn't feel great. Something else came up. There's always like life gets in the way, right? And so these 3 pages here kind of in a row are a good example of things that you could document that really aren't specific to the season necessarily, but were still true of what was going on in my life in October. So yes, this was kind of a spooky book, and so it made it, easier or more fun to include the spooky embellishments, but I wouldn't have to do that. Yes, I find going to the gym a frightening experience, but that's true all the time, not just in October. And this podcast is something that I listened to specifically because I wanted something that kind of fit the mood of this month, but it could have been any podcast that I had been listening to. Going along with the real life is scary enough thing, I decided that day 20 would be all about my dating experience. And so I took a selfie after a date that wasn't particularly great. And I made a little graphic, to make it seem scary. And then I took screenshots of my dating profile just to include there because I thought, this is something that's going on in my life and something I want to remember. And then this little flap part is also part of my dating profile. You can see the numbers here. So yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. And this is not overtly something that's seasonal, but I made it more seasonal by adding this little graphic and by using some of the embellishments that kind of go along with Halloween. Day 21 is my Halloween sort of decor on my mantle. I had, and earlier in the month, just had the fall kind of look, but I changed out the mantle for Halloween. And it's fun because Dean and Roscoe do notice what I have up on the mantle. Dean is at the age where he can actually talk about it and point to things. Roscoe just kind of looks around wide-eyed, but he'll talk about it soon, I'm sure. And then day 22 is all about hanging out with Roscoe one afternoon. So I have some journaling here. And then I have some random facts about Roscoe and how we spend our time together. And then a couple of pictures. Day 23 is several pages because it was the Pride Festival here in my hometown, and that's something that I like to go to and support. And so I have some photos from the day. And then here I have, I took a screenshot of the online advertisement and I printed it. I have some journaling. And then this is a musician that I met that evening who was super sweet. I was totally a groupie. Here we have a great picture of Kelsey and Dean. I was there with my friend Travis and we ran into Kelsey and Dean, so we had to have a couple of pictures of them. Now I have some sticky going on here, so that's why I have this right here for now. I'm going to have to deal with that, but I don't know what I'm going to do about it yet. Here's a selfie that Travis and I snapped that evening at the brewery. Here is a picture of Kelsey and Dean with her dear friends. One of them was her man of honor in her wedding. But I have to be honest, when they're all dressed up, I don't remember which one is which. So I'll just say, they look gorgeous. And we'll move on. All right. Let's see. On the 24th, Kelsey and Jake and the boys went out to Jackson's Orchard for something she was doing with her dance troupe. So this is a picture that someone snapped of them. I mean, it's hilarious that both boys are looking the wrong direction, but Kelsey and Jake are looking at the camera. So I guess that's what really matters. Day 25 is a selfie that I snapped. I spent the day working on Scrap Gal's sorts of projects. We taped a couple of shows, and sometimes you have just a regular work day. in the middle of, documenting something seasonally, and that's totally fine. Day 26, I watched one Halloween movie this year, and it was Hocus Pocus. It's a favorite, and I didn't have anything to say about it, but I thought it was fun to include that picture. Day 27 was the day that we had our Halloween crop for the Scrap Gals. So here is the screenshot of all the people who were in attendance at that moment. You know how people kind of drift in and drift out. And then here's a selfie of me in my crazy dog lady costume, because that's how I dressed up. This is a filler page. A lot of people feel uncomfortable including a page like that in an album, but I don't. I thought it was beautiful. I wanted to include it to kind of play off this orange here, and so it's there. Day 28 was about hanging out with little Dean, and here he is, standing next to me doing a puzzle and having some oranges. So I think that's cute, and I love that his little shirt is about dinosaurs. Day 29 was about my visit to Octagon House, one of the few remaining Octagon houses in the United States. I think there are maybe 6 or 7 left standing, and it is not only on the historical register, but it is widely purported to be haunted. I'd never done anything like this before, so it was definitely a new experience. I have my journaling here. Then we have a picture of the house, and I had to grab this from online because by the time we got there, of course, it was pitch dark, and you couldn't see the house as well. So I do have that. And then here I have a collage of photos that I took inside the house. Here's another one from the internet. Then I have this divided page protector. My friend Swift and I went to this. And then I have a picture of the historic marker so that you can see it. Here is something I grabbed from the internet. If I had seen that in person, y'all, I'd probably still be, locked up in a hospital somewhere. Day 30 is all about Travis and me going to this Booze and Brews down at Gasper. Travis didn't want to wear a costume, even though they were holding a Halloween costume contest, and I felt like I had to wear a costume, so I went as Rosie the Riveter in an effort not to embarrass him too terribly. There's my little name tag I made and some journaling. We listened to some great music, so it was lots of fun. And then on Halloween itself, I didn't expect to see Kelsey and the kids, and so Travis suggested I head over to his house with JoJo, and he was going to make us cocktails and hand out candy to the trick-or-treaters. I brought us a mask, and so we each put our mask on. There's JoJo in his bat dog outfit, and Kelsey and the kids surprised me. Here Dean is trick-or-treating with Travis. Here I am holding Roscoe and Dean. Let me tell you, Dean lost it. He was so excited that I was there and that JoJo was there, and I felt like a rock star. Here's a fun picture that they snapped of the 4 of us, which I love. Here's the journaling that talks about all those different things. A neighborhood shot of these people actually dressed their speedboat up as if they were a pirate ship, and they pulled it behind their truck. I was like, that is so smart. I want to do that. And then we have a picture of all of us that Travis took. And these embellishments are a little bit cutesier because, of course, the kids are in them. And then I got a couple of Halloween cards, and I put those in this last page protector. So there you have it. I need to put a number on this page right here. But other than that, I'm totally finished with my October daily project. I had a great time making it. I was a little freaked out that I wouldn't finish, but I feel super accomplished that I was able to finish before Thanksgiving. Wait, what? And, you know, I don't know if I would be like totally gung-ho to do it again right away, but it's one of those projects that I think might be fun to do every few years. The only thing that makes me think I might want to do it every year is that the boys will be changing so much. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Don't hold me to this in case I decide next year I need to do one as well. All right. Whoops, sorry, I hit the camera. I hope you guys enjoyed my flip through. I hope you maybe have some ideas that you'll want to try in your own documenting. It doesn't have to be, of course, seasonally relevant. You don't have to do an October daily to get some inspiration. And I'll chat with you later. Bye.